Alrighty, here we are. Fraser, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Chris?
Not too bad, not too bad. Bit tired today, but it's been a hard week.
Yeah, I
Mm.
feel that.
Yes, life, hey, life.
Yeah. I well,
Um,
I finally got in the groove of actually doing work and not doing half work and half procrastinating. So I'm
it's
feeling it.
challenging to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think particularly when you've been a student, like getting out of bed to start at like 9 a.m. is the first hurdle.
Yeah.
You're there now, aren't you? You've managed to do that now.
Uh, some days you trip over the hurdle, some days you manage it.
Uh huh.
But I'm getting into that flow earlier and earlier, which is good. I get sat down and
Yes.
get stuck into it. We finally, I think, just in a spot where we have a lot of plans in place for Arvo and a lot of
Hmm.
like meaningful tasks that need to be done, and so
Hmm.
it's really easy to look at the hack and plan and say, okay, today I'm doing this, or
Yeah.
on Mondays I make a timetable for the week, and so I'll go, okay, well, I said I'd be doing design work today, so what design work needs to be done, and yeah, that sort of
Nice.
preparation has helped a lot.
Cool. Cool. Great. So you're becoming an adult. Fraser, welcome.
Bit by bit.
Welcome to
It's
adulthood.
only taken 26 years, but we're getting there.
That's all right. Hey, look, I tell you, you know you're an adult when you spend good money on white goods like a washing machine or a fridge or a dryer, and you're like,
That's
oh my god, that was just like $1,000, and I like this is just. Where's the fun? How do I play this game? It's like,
yeah. That's
um,
I
yeah.
like that. That's a good milestone.
Absolutely. When you spend, about a good chunk of $1,000 or more on white goods, you can officially call yourself an adult. Says he who had to buy a bloody new washing machine just recently. So luckily that was only about $800.
I saw I saw washing machines and dryers at Audi the other day going out for like 400. I was like, that's all well and good. How are you expecting me to get this washing machine out of the middle of this Audi store in the middle of Marion Shopping Centre?
I would
Uh,
guess they would organise to deliver it for you. Surely,
right?
I
It was
would
just
I would
something
have
about
thought so.
seeing it in the box there with all the other stuff that they sell. I was like,
Yeah.
you want me to go grab a couple trolleys and like wheel it out?
Do you know? I think it's Heath Franklin, the comedian. He does Chopper. Familiar
Oh,
with
that
Heath Franklin?
is ringing a bell.
Because he does an Aldi skit which is as funny as hell. He talks about all the stuff you can pick up. Why go to Coles and Woolworths when you can go to Aldi and pick up like a welder and a 3 meter salami and stuff like that. So yeah, it's quite funny. Anyway, today, so we're gonna keep going through Stray, do a bit of an analysis of Stray. But before we jump into that, I did want to talk about a game close to my heart that I know you've never played, but I have. I'm looking here. I have 1,629 hours on record. So it's a game definitely close to my heart, and which has copped a lot of flack lately. And that's the game is 7 Days to Die. Been around for a very long time. It released at the same time as Rust, so about 2013, I think. Both Rust and 7 Days to Die originally were Daisy clones, I guess you'd say, which is quite interesting because if you look at them now, they are nothing like Daisy anymore. They're both sort of forked quite substantially over the last 13 years, isn't it? So 2013, hang on, so 2013, 12 years, 12 years. So interestingly enough, they've both been going along really strongly. They've both been doing well, both Rust and 7 Days to Die. But 7 Days to Die has recently just has dropped the ball, and I thought this is something that's really interesting to look at because when we talk about game design, we usually talk about so how do you create good games. Don't so often talk about how to screw it all up, how to shoot yourself in the foot. But I think it's a really important thing to look at because when you do that, and if it is terminal, they won't be the first game studio to screw things up completely and the game dies. That has happened multiple times in the past. So it's something that you need to, I think, as a game developer, designer, you need to be aware of. Like, what do you avoid doing? So now, obviously, 7 Days to Die and Rust are both. Well, actually, it's interesting to say because 7 Days to Die, I play very much more as just a single player game, and the 7 Days to Die is what I call a survival. What was it saying? 7 Days to Die is an open world game that is a unique combination of first person shooter, survival horror, tower defense, and role playing games. Play the definitive zombie survival sandbox RPG that came first. Navezgane awaits. Now you can see here, originally it had very positive reviews, 259,000 of them, but recently mixed. So a lot of people are saying, we're not enjoying these. We're not enjoying what's happened. And they've recently released the 2.0 version of the game, and they've made some significant changes, which I kind of want to talk about. So,
is that your definition, or is that theirs, the 2.0 version?
2.0 is their version.
Wow, interesting.
Yes. They're saying it's still in alpha 2, which is kind of weird. So if you see here, your 2.0, 2.1 stable came out, and then you've got the 2.0 Town Hall was actually a response. So if we have a look here at recent YouTube videos about 7 Days to Die, yeah, you'll see. Yeah, I mean, people are sort of saying that they've made a mistake. So it's quite interesting. What is it that you can do to really screw up your game? And I want to use. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to really get in and do it sort of officially, but I want to use this concept of player stories to maybe talk about what happened, and maybe if they had been using player stories to understand the game, that would not have actually happened. So I wouldn't mind kind of doing that. So maybe what I will do, I might fire up the game itself and we can have a bit of a chat. Is that
yeah?
How does that sound?
Works for me.
We'll give us maybe, where are we now? It's nearly 4 o'clock. So maybe another 25 minutes. So maybe till about 25 past. Sound all right?
Yep. Yeah.
So let me. Oh, here we go. Just go play now from here. Yeah. Cool. So it'll take a minute or two to start up. Yeah, should be starting, I think. So interestingly enough, these kind of are what you might call those live service games that all these companies want to go for these days. Although I'd say 7 Days to Die hasn't done the best way of monetizing their stuff.
Right. Yeah, because
whereas Rust has.
All I can remember of 7 Days to Die is it being like a multiplayer PvE survival zombie game. Mm-hmm. And I remember at some point it changing very drastically from the way it played and looked. But I had never realized it was sort of existing in that live service model.
Well, as I said, I never play it online. I tend to play it. I tend to play it as a single player game. I actually find it quite relaxing. Like, it's a way for me to unwind, which may sound a bit weird, but yeah, it's quite a nice way to unwind that I find. So I might just jump in. Well, the things I will point out as well. What have we got here? It's connected with Discord now, and we also have some DLC. We've never had DLC before. There's been criticisms about the DLC and stuff, but I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about what the game actually is. So you can see all these games. So me to relax. This is how I relax. So let's just jump in and just start. There's a lot of good things about the game, but I think what they've done is they have changed. They've changed the core of the game. They've lost the core of the game, which is really unfortunate. And again, it comes back to we've talked about player stories. We've talked about the theme of the game. The games we're designing as well. And I think if they had really understood what the player story was in their game, they would have avoided doing what they have done. And I'll talk about while I'm sort of playing through what the player story was at some stage earlier on. And I think I've been playing since 2016, 2017, so quite a while. And what the player story is now, and I've just, in fact, I have, since the release of 2.0, I have been playing through it because I wanted to get a sense of what it is. So I'm going to talk about what it is now compared to what it was. Okay, so here we are. You can see that all right?
Yes, yeah, I'm over on your stream.
Cool.
So I'm a little delayed, but I can see.
Okay. So I'm a fair way through the game. You can see at the top, it says day 18. Gives you the time, 3:19 p.m. Here's my motorbike. And if we hit the map, so you can see I'm just at the edge of the wasteland here. This is the snow biome, which I've been working through. You start up, the way it works now is you start up sort of here. This is where I kind of started, in the temperate biome, or the forest biome. And then what you have to do is you have to sort of work your way. You have to do tasks within the trader, and then you get to the next biome, which is like the burnt biome. Is this one, and then where was the other one? Oh yeah, this is the desert biome. Didn't spend much time in there, and yeah, then you get to the snow biome, which is where I'm at the moment. So I've worked my way through all these tasks. Let me show you the tasks. So there's all these tasks here, and then you also have to unlock. So you've got burnt survival, desert survival, snow survival. But this is all new. This is the new part. This is the part that I think people are not enjoying very much. And I'll talk about why. So we've got these survivals. You can see I've got to my wasteland survival. So if at the moment, if I go into the wasteland, it's unpleasant. So you can see, yeah, things are not right.
Wow.
Things are, and if I stay here too long, I will end up losing. Oh, I can't even run. Oh yeah, I can run. I'll end up losing health and eventually dying. But I have to go in here and do things like find some irradiated mushrooms and a few other things to unlock this biome. But if you look down the left-hand side, it says 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So that's how long I can last in here before I start losing health. And I'm looking for these irradiated mushrooms, but I must admit I can't really see any. But this kind of brings me to the problems. Like, this game used to be, to me, this game used to be like a survival game. So you would, so the player story, just to sort of give you a very broad overview, is you would spawn in. You would have to collect. You'd have to explore, collect resources. So collect resources like blueberries. So get myself some blueberries. You have to survive. So kill the monsters and whatever. Build a base and sort of level up. Make yourself gear and this sort of stuff. And yeah, building a base and everything was part of the fun. So this building the base part was very much something that I really enjoyed. Excuse me. So I didn't hear her coming. So this thing of having a base, having somewhere, and I don't know, have you ever played? You played Minecraft, haven't you? So you build in Minecraft, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So building a base and that's can be a really important part of the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, You've experienced that?
Definitely. And Minecraft, you kind of have the two different sides of playing a single player Minecraft, where it's really quite peaceful, or if you're playing in a multiplayer you get to focus on your niche. There's always the jokes and memes about one person is the person who goes and gathers all the resources, and one person is the person who stays behind and builds the base and makes it look pretty and manages all the stuff. So I think it's a big part of almost any survival game, right, is sort of establishing that home point.
Having your base. So look, I have, and interestingly enough, I've got to 75% through the game, basically through the first three biomes, and I've only just put down a base, and I think this is where the problem lies for 7 Days to Die. And I think it started out actually when they created the traders, and you had tasks to do for traders, which involved getting experience points and loot, and that changed the game a fair bit. And in fact, maybe we'll jump to the trader so we can just so you can see how the traders and stuff work. It's not rocket science, but it's a bit hard not being able to hear. But having like the gear and everything I got, so I've got kind of late stage gear and everything, and I know the game well. But what it's done is that it's turned the game, instead of just a cruisy exploration, build a base, survive, get resources, create craft items and stuff like that. It's turned it into like I must get to the next stage. So it's changed the focus, which is not fun. It's really changed the whole nature of the game. It's changed the whole player experience of the game. So now, instead of building a base and working my base on certain at certain times, and what I do is I go to a trader, I throw down a few boxes like this, so there's stuff in those boxes. Or I build a simple base, like a pretty easy to build base, and I just do everything I have to do to get to the next stage. And that's destroyed the game. To me, that has really destroyed the game. And the problem is that with these new biomes and these not new biome, the biomes have already been there, but they've entered these biome badges. So you can't get you have to do these things to get to the next biome, and the next biome has more loot. So it's gone from this just sort of open world explore and everything to just having to go around and complete tasks. So it's like a almost fetch quest task oriented thing, which is really disappointing. So it's really changed all this sort of stuff. Plus, you've also got in here, you can buy things. And I've got plenty of money here, so I can go and buy stuff in here instead of crafting. So there's this added thing of, I don't have to craft things. I can come in here and just buy them, which is kind of interesting. But it also, it removes something from the game. Don't know whether that sounds...
Yeah, I'm comparing it now to Minecraft, being that most recent thing, and I guess it's because Minecraft has the villagers and their trading system, but that feels very intentionally difficult to sort of make any sort of progress in, right. Especially for the casual player. And so trading and that it's more about it's an option that's present. Whereas it sounds like what you're describing with this new update in 7 Days to Die is that it's almost compulsory to go through the traders and complete their tasks.
It is 100%. You can't get to the next biome without completing the trader tasks. So you have to go through that, which is has made it a very different experience.
I wonder how much of this is an issue because this game has existed for so long with an expected player experience, and so now that it's been radically altered, I wonder if that's, you know, I guess, you know, you've cultivated this audience for the game who have enjoyed it a certain way. That's why they've stuck around and played it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
to change it so much, it's like, well, none of these people signed up for this.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So the game that it used to be, and the reason that people play it, you know, is it's no longer kind of there. So it's quite interesting, and I think a lot of this has been about making money. Like, it's not been about making a better game, because of all the changes they've done recently. It seems like over the last maybe 12 to 18 months, they have what's this? Someone's talking about a bit rate there. Oh, okay, it gets a bit blocky. I think our bid rate's about 6,000, 300, 400. Sorry if it's a bit blocky.
It might just be an Australian internet moment.
It could be Australian internet, yes. Apologies for that. Sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, they've the 7 Days to Die crew. It seems to me like, if I'm reading from an outsider, but it seems to me they're talking to they started talking to someone about making more money out of the game. Like, they've improved the graphics, they've improved the models. So if you have a look at, you know, these guys, they've improved the models, the characters, and everything, which is good, not a bad thing. But, you know, and now they've got DLC, and the DLC, in fact, is something that they were going to add for free, but they didn't. They didn't do that. They've now added it for, like, I think it's about $13 or something, which sucks. So, that's a real red flag. If you said something was going to be in the game, like it's going to be 1.0, and then 2.0, you're saying, oh, by the way, you have to pay for this now. It's not great. We've got a comment here actually. Des will be forced to change their game. Was it if they made to serve a specific sale in their mind? Popular wasn't designed to a company, so yeah, they haven't been very strategic in the way that they've monetized it, which is not so good. So
I was about to ask that too. Is there any way you can go and play the older versions of it, or are you kind of stuck on?
You can
on the latest
You can.
update?
No, you actually can.
Right.
If you go to Steam, you can opt into the beta, which is basically gives you options for previous stuff.
But would that apply if you're trying to play online?
Well,
I
no,
guess-
that would be problematic, unless you
So
had
it depends
friends
on the type of player. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you had friends, who were using the same version. But that's not kind of like, I mean, you can do that, but who goes back and plays an older version of a game? Like, I think what people would end up doing is they just stop playing. Unfortunately, they just no longer actually play the game.
I keep thinking about because when you brought it up to me earlier, it was making me think of my history with Overwatch and how they had, you know, I mean, the original Overwatch, and then kind of abandoned it for so long, and then came around with Overwatch 2, and just sort of that ebb and flow between devs and players, and like that weird, I don't know, I guess a lot of the time it comes down to a money thing, but like when the devs are almost, or changes that are being, maybe not the devs necessarily, but the changes that are happening to the game are in conflict with what the players are expecting. It's really hard as a designer to reconcile that conflict, because I'm like, as a designer, I guess sometimes when I think about things, it happened a lot with Deep Climb, where I as a designer had ideas for how I wanted the game to be experienced, and they maybe didn't line up with the general player's experience, and so trying to reconcile that difference, but I don't know. It's hard to compare it that way when you showed me that they've added a DLC tab to the main menu.
They've done it.
It's
Look,
like, well,
you can do it badly. The thing is, you can really do it badly, and unfortunately, Fun Pimps have done it badly. They've done it really poorly. I think, but you can find again. I point to Rust. I think Rust have done it really well. They did it quite a while ago,
Mhm.
and they just have skins. So they have skins for your different items. So you have skins for armor. They'll have skins for um, weapons. And they've had that for a long time. That works really well. Like, it doesn't make any difference to the game. You can buy skins if you want to. You can sell your skins on Steam as well.
Mm.
So it's been done. Like, this is not. They didn't have to reinvent something. You know, there was a solution already there, but they didn't use that solution. They went and did something really dumb. And Rust also has DLC, but they've just done it better. So they're definitely better solutions.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me. I guess the other thing that makes me think of Overwatch is the fact that they are referring to this as 2.0 version,
Yeah.
which feels really odd. And it's my same issue with Overwatch. Is it's like, but this is the same game. Like, yeah, you've made adjustments, but is it? I don't understand the reasoning behind
Ooh.
moving it onto a 2.0. I feel like
Yeah, I'm not
if
sure
it were
why they
me,
did
2.0
2.0.
would mean, making a new game essentially.
Yeah, I can't answer to that one. I don't quite understand why the Fun Pimps have done that, but it's just what they decided to do. Oh, hey, I've got a Cracker book. Oh, I didn't even know I had this. Oh, hang on. No. Oh,
Kept the original
okay.
gameplay experience people came to Rust for. Yeah, that sounds like what we were just talking about with 7 Days to Die, where that
Yeah.
core player experience has been altered, changed from being more of a survival game into this sort of task. It almost feels like it's making it more linear. The
It
idea
is.
of each
That's
biome
exactly
being
correct. That is exactly
stuck.
correct. Yeah.
And yeah, I guess it goes back to that point of like, if you're making an open world survival game and then all of a sudden you make a massive update which makes it way more linear, it's like, well, it's no longer really
Yeah.
hitting that open world survival game audience, the players who've bought
Yep.
it and come.
Now, the other thing I'll mention as well is that I know, like, I don't, you can see the environment. The environments are really nice. Like, I want to be able to just. One of the things I really like, I've always liked the snow biome. One of the things I always do is I build my base in the snow biome, and I like just cruising around the snow biome, enjoying the visuals and the music and everything that's going on in the snow biome. The different, these things are new. They don't fit in at all. That's the other thing as well. They've put monsters in there. I mean, it's supposed to be a bloody zombie survival game, and they put monsters in, but it's no longer like if I was doing a game like this, I'd be. And again, I'm talking back about. So this is 7 Days to Die. Sorry, you missed the start. This is 7 Days to Die. I would be encouraging, putting things into to encourage people just to enjoy the environment, like just to be here. Like that's part of a survival kind of game as well. The building and you can just sit up here and but everything in the progression now is about moving on to the next thing, and then then you get there and you're finished. It's like, oh, what do I do now? So it's quite disappointing what they've done, and I think honestly, Fraser, I think if you're keen on sort of making any type of game, I think making a game, making 7 Days to Die as it should be would be a good one to do, because they've got a lot of stuff there. They've dropped the ball. They've screwed it up, but you could certainly take what they've got and make it the game that it kind of should be. I guess that's what I'd say.
Yeah. It's just I hadn't considered how kind of central, like, forming your base was to a survival game. Like, it makes sense, and I could have said that, but like seeing it be removed in the way that 7 Days to Die has done with this new update, I can see how that really screws up that core experience.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about a Minecraft world that I haven't touched in months that had a really sick spot that I wanted to build a base in.
Yeah.
And the idea of being like, oh, but imagine Minecraft, but they made you, like, the gameplay forced you to keep pushing through the world and not turning back.
Yeah. That's exactly what they've done. You have to keep moving. And that's all there is to it. So it's unfortunate. But I think if they have understood what the core of their game was through things like player stories, then they wouldn't have made this mistake. They wouldn't have put things in which screwed around with the core player experience. And I think that's unfortunate what they've done. They have messed up their player experience, which is a bit of a bummer. And Paxian Games are saying bye-bye player agency. Yeah. You're being forced to move along. And emergent gameplay. So that's the thing. Sometimes some games, like, it's just being there. Like the environment, you enjoy the environment, you enjoy exploring, you enjoy the vibe. And you know, you've got to understand, if that's what people are doing, that's what people enjoy. You don't mess with that. You don't mess with what people enjoy.
It's actually making me think. I mean, I guess Minecraft is just my best touchstone comparison for it. But I remember hearing about how the current devs of Minecraft, they are very careful about exactly that, the player experience. And in their perspective, like, there's a bit of a conversation about how old Minecraft mechanics and features wouldn't get made in modern Minecraft. Things like the creeper, the idea that there's an enemy who can destroy your structure. It's something that goes against the sort of rules that they've developed for themselves.
Oh, interesting.
Obviously, they can't take it out because it's so crucial to sort of Minecraft's identity. But yeah, when they're introducing new features, apparently it's something they consider a lot is, you know, does this mob interact with the player? You know, like, does the player have agency over when and how they interact with the mob? Or, you know, all those sorts of things. So I think even stuff like, you know, it's been a while now, but when they added Netherite, which was that step above Diamond, there was a bit of a concern, the idea that Diamond was no longer the you know, that best tool, but it still fit in the general principle of the game, right? You're still progressing from one sort of hardware level to the next. And it's, I guess it's that. It's just wild to me that the game is now pushing you linearly through. And they still consider it like an open world survival. It feels so counter to that.
Yeah, unfortunately, they've made a mistake. So this is what I wanted to point out today. Like, you know, if you're designing games, think about what you're doing. Don't think about the player experience. Number one, think about the player stories. What's the player going through? Why is the player playing the game? Don't just go and put in a whole different thing because you want to monetize. You want more money. That's
and especially if you are in this situation where this isn't like, you know, working on a game that hasn't been released yet. You're making major updates to a game that has found its audience already. If you stray too far, you're not going to find a new audience. You're just going to lose everyone that was there.
Yeah, most likely. So I just wanted to point that out. I still enjoy it. But after having sort of played, as I said, about 75% of the way through, I think, to be honest, what I would like to do is I'd like to play the game and remove all the traders, because I want to be able to progress just myself. I want to go play it and not have the traders give me too much, too much the progression's too fast. I think if you just go through this and you just play it for what it is, and you're free to kind of go wherever you want to go, spend your time wherever you want to spend your time, to me that's a much more enjoyable game.
Does it still have the massive horde on day 7? Was that?
Yeah, and that's fun as well. So you've got something driving you forward. You've got day 21 now. I've got to have my base ready for the horde, so I'll need to do that.
It's just interesting that you're 3/4 through the game, but only on day 18, when there's a pivotal mechanic around that 7-day mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems like I would be wanting to draw that out longer if I were making those sorts of choices.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Exactly. But yeah, doesn't really do that. Yeah, unfortunately, doesn't do that. It's doing the opposite. It's just pushing you through this kind of story experience, which is kind of weird. So, yeah. Anyway, we might jump into Stray. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's.
That sounds good to me.
Come out of here. So I still enjoy the game. Let me just say, I still enjoy 7 Days to Die, but the progression is, unfortunately, I don't know what, they just messed it up. And see the DLCs where the fucking exit thing used to be? But that's just a bit manipulative too. It's like, you'd go down there to hit exit, and now it's DLC. Like,
yeah.
Fuckers.
I mean,
fuckers.
It's like when we were talking about Firebreak the other week, right? We talk about these sorts of things because we love these games or the devs, and we just wish it was better. We want to see games be, more fun and more focused. And
yeah. Have you played Firebreak yet?
No, I have not. I still haven't found the money to justify it when it's got those.
I believe they're sticking with it. I believe. Oh, I need to. Oh no.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Did you forget? We're gonna have audio troubles again.
Oh, I gotta come out. Sorry. Oh yeah. Oh damn it. Okay, let me plug in my controller and screw up all the audio. Yeah. Ready? Ready. Here we go. Can we hear things? Desktop audio's gone. Well done.
And do you still have my voice coming through?
I can hear you. Yeah. Has it actually?
Okay.
Stream sound settings. Has it worked? Choose your input device. Headset. Is it? Can you hear me? Why is it saying headset, microphone, wireless controller? That's weird. Why is it still working? I guess OBS.
It's just not set to default.
If I do that,
it's routing it specifically.
Mess things up. I think we're okay. I think we're good. Okay, let's hit play. Here's the next step. Can we actually play the game? You still with me?
Hey,
there you go. Good.
I went to go looking for some coloured construction paper today because I've been trying to get my brain in a map designing space. And so I started in Google Docs taking notes, and then I opened Clip Studio and I was going to start drawing, and then that didn't feel right, so I went over to Miro that had a whiteboard, and that didn't feel right. And so I was looking around my desk and I was like, I need something physical. I need to cut out pieces of paper and move them around so I can get a feel for this. And couldn't find any color paper. The color paper I found was $16, and it was the most dull shades of orange and like a muted yellow. I was like, this is not what I'm looking for.
Where was this?
I went to Big W. I should have gone to like Officeworks or something. But
yeah, I think you'll probably find what you're looking for at Officeworks. I'd hope.
Yeah, it was further out of the way. I thought I was smart and I would run in and grab it before stream. Heard Stray was really good. A real indie game, no BS, just game.
Yeah, Stray's fantastic.
It is. I have like minor problems with it, but those are just.
Come on, Fraser. What are your problems? Go on.
I just felt like I wasn't incentivized enough to really explore the environments.
Oh, that's interesting. Given our conversation just about 7 Days to Die.
Yeah. But bear in mind, my first playthrough of this was also when I had COVID, so I might have just been delirious.
Oh no, I would agree. I would actually agree. The thing is, I don't think Stray is an open world game.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It is a linear. It's a linear game. Yeah.
It is, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was like marketing or just like there was an assumption made where I was like, "Oh, this is an open world game," and then playing through it, I was like, "No, this is very linear."
Yeah, no, it's definitely linear. Oh, what happened with that? Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you just look. We can only go one way. There's only kind of really one way to go. We can't go back there or anything. In fact, we're completely locked out of
That's a proper gate.
But look, it still does it very well. There's nothing wrong with, if you're making a linear game, that's cool. Make a linear game. If you're making an open world game, make a friggin' open world game. Don't make it linear. Don't screw around with it. I think 7 Days to Die is a really good cautionary tale now. I hope they fix it up. But there was in the they did a Q&A, and they were not talking about making fixes that were going to make it any better that I could see. So I don't think they're going to fix it.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
No, I'm taking a lot of cues from Yakuza when it comes to open world and sort of for Arvo, how I want to go about making the world for that. I know we've talked about it before, but I just really like that idea that you kind of have the whole map for the most part, and then you're encouraged to explore.
Run! Sorry. What am I doing?
And the it's over.
Oh, I died.
Oh dear, that's not what we want.
Oh, sorry, pussy.
But,
I can't remember because I'm not playing this regularly. I can't remember what the hell run is. Oh, I'm all the way back here. Oh,
one
thanks.
Of the triggers?
It is. I think it's the left. Oh, good. Oh no, I'm not that far. I'm not as far as I thought I was.
But no, I love the idea of having access to the whole map for the most part.
Oh, there we go. Where do I go?
Being encouraged to explore it, but being guided by the main story.
Where do I go next? Up there. Oh, goodness me.
There you go.
So I'm a bit distracted. What were you saying?
That's all right. I just love the idea of having the majority of the map open and being encouraged to explore through side missions and collectibles, and then having the main story sort of guide you through it, If you're not the type of player who's going to go and explore every sort of back alley first, having the main narrative to drive you around the different locations. So
you should be focusing on the way the characters act, the NPCs act, shouldn't you? Isn't that what you're trying to get out of this?
Most of the dialogue, I think we quite liked your point that 2D characters with minimal animations are going to save us a lot of scope. But yeah, we've been talking about that and talking about how we can make them more dynamic in their positioning and their artwork.
Cool. So if anyone's listening, Fraser's working on a game at the moment.
Yes. Did you want it's called Arvo, the Outback Delivery game. We have a prototype up on itch under Chronoboros.
Should share the link.
Name.
Share the link.
I can grab a link. I'm
definitely
also
worth checking
out. Regularly, at least weekly, on YouTube and Instagram. We are trying to get funded by the government. That's Twitch. That's YouTube. But yeah, we're trying to make a sort of a delivery game where there's a bunch of kind of like Stray robot NPCs, and you have a ute, and they ask you to deliver packages, and you go back and forth and discover things. Yeah, we were talking about allowing the player to express themselves more in the way they talk to NPCs, and we were thinking about ideas like instead of having a yes or no dialogue box that you click on, asking the player to shake the camera up and down or side to side for yes and no.
Yeah, okay.
What's your gut reaction to that?
My gut reaction is, how are you going to code it?
With a programmer.
Yeah, because that's not necessarily as easy as it sounds.
Yeah. We're happy to bang our heads into the wall for a bit to try and figure it out, and if not, pivot. But that general idea, like, I just really liked when we played last week, seeing the cat step on the keyboard. I really enjoyed that. And so yeah, we were just talking about how we can allow the player to express themselves when they are a silent protagonist. And so we're coming up with other ways, and also leaning more into the core idea. So the fact that we're delivering packages, you can pick them up and throw them. Leaning more into that. So instead of having specific delivery zones, just delivering packages directly to the NPCs. Gemma's been working on the point system, which will be a physical object. And essentially the way that'll work is when it's in the ute, when you hit enemies or do jumps or drive fast, you'll get more points added to it and it will grow in size. And if it flies out of the ute and takes damage, it'll shrink in size, so you'll lose and gain points dynamically.
I think I'm feeling like we might need to have a design update. We haven't sort of talked about it for a while, have we?
Yeah, it has been several weeks, I think.
Cool. Oh, that's good.
But,
Sounds like you've sort of moved along quite a bit with your progress.
Yeah, we're making progress. It's very much in that stage of add things that aren't currently implemented rather than fine-tune things that are. So stuff like active shift mechanic, it's still not quite what we want. The car still is a bit funky to drive, but yeah, we'd rather have all the concepts in, and because then, like we were speaking about just before offline, I think it's a lot easier to have a really rough prototype, but with as many of the concepts as we can get in, and take that to a programmer and say, hey, can we pay you to make this work properly?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. I spent way longer making art assets than I thought I would, though.
What's your deadline for the crate?
End of next month. I think it's the 28th.
Oh wow. Okay, not very far away.
No, just enough pressure. Games will get something going. Developing packages should be fun. Delivering. It's supposed to be challenge combo both. Yeah, you're kind of hitting it. Could be fun gameplay in itself. Different things you can carry, different vehicles, different terrain types. Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad to hear that the concept is coming across even in that early prototype, because I don't know, sometimes I get so stuck into the development of it that I feel like that first prototype is just so inaccurate. But yeah, like with the points, the idea is kind of there'll be several locations around the map where you can cash in your points, and I mean, those can be spent on like customization and whatnot. Not as important as the idea is that you can choose to put them in the ute and potentially get more by doing tricks and hitting enemies, but with the risk of losing them, or you can play it safe and just cash them in. So trying to find that balance between letting players, skill expression shine, or leaning into that coziness of it. Not for a game jam. We're me and my partner who are working on it have finished uni last year and are just trying to work on something that can potentially get players. Game dev. So I'm trying to think of how it play out. That makes a lot of sense then. Yeah. I thought about the idea of tricks, but I don't want to lean too heavily into it because it's just a whole nother mechanic to develop. But the idea of kind of having like trick combos, in the sense of like encouraging players to drive faster, do jumps, make riskier moves, to sort of act in that same similar way. Game jams are a good time constraint, but I don't know. We kind of did treat it like a game jam. We had a moment where like we've been doing so much design work, we need to get some programming done. So we said we have 1 month, and prototype 1 is what we had come out of that. So we're in a similar state now with this second grant, but it's good. It's good motivation. I saw you take that little cat nap there, and it looked... I feel like I need that.
I think that's one of the things this game does really well. Like, not everything has to be practical. And I think sometimes, well, there is I guess you could almost say there's a school of thought that says that everything has to be, about gameplay and everything in a game. And I disagree because I think that, you know, having things like that where the cat just curls up and goes to sleep is it's kind of cool. Like it's got
And
got its own sort of aesthetic.
It's the player story, right? We can consider that when we're writing a player story.
Sure.
And if it's within the scope, then it's something that can be added.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I on Chris's recommendation actually, when I was first talking about this months ago, recommended that I play Death Stranding, and because I had not, and Chris was saying, you know, this sounded a lot like Death Stranding, so I've played a bit, and yeah, I think I agree. I didn't really enjoy it. I want to enjoy the story and all the craziness of it, but yeah, there is something to that core gameplay that doesn't appeal to me. And you're right, I think that's something to be very aware of. Either lean heavily into it or lean heavily away from it, depending on the decisions. I always found the timing on this really difficult. Oh, but you got it. There you go.
Hey. Yeah, it's really interesting to sort of go through games like this and okay, touch on that. Just see, you know, what the experience is. Like, it's not just gameplay. There's a whole lot of other things going on. All right, how do we get back down? Do we want to go back down, or do we go? We want to go up here. I can't remember. I can't remember the game.
You want to go in there to grab something? I think. I don't know.
In where?
Down on the ground floor where the paint just spilled and the guy ran out of.
Go. Yes.
I think it's such a fun way to design a game as well. This idea of like, the player is a cat. What does a cat do? How can we turn that into gameplay challenges and yeah, and again, letting players like express themselves as a cat in that way. I think it's really, really
fun. But also, like, from a marketing point of view, I don't always suggest sticking to marketing, but cats are very popular on the internet.
Yeah.
Someone told me cats are popular.
I've heard.
Yeah, you might be surprised, but apparently cats. And they do the cat well. That's the other thing. Like, it's not just... Ooh, look what we got. I've got some students doing a cat game at the moment, and it's quite good. The cat's quite good. It's not as good as, obviously, you know, a professionally done game with a budget and everything. But, you know, they have captured that catness.
I like cat chid.
What's that?
Cat chid. It's cat a mouthful of consonants. I also really love the screen faces. I really want to lean into that for Arvo, because I think it'll be...
Yeah?
One, I think it's charming, but two, I think it's got to be really easy to just swap out facial expressions as a way to really simply convey emotions for the characters.
Yeah, it's quite simple. So you think about doing that for your characters?
Yeah, we've talked about it. The character concepts that Gemma's worked on so far haven't leaned into it too heavily, but it's also been a minute since we have really dove into that. Arvo looks like a chill, laid-back game set in Outback Australia. Maybe there's a narrative based on the actual driver, and he's trying to deliver packages for his own goal. As you know, yeah, we've got quite a bit of narrative ideas going on. None of it has really made it into the first prototype, and honestly, there probably won't be a whole lot in prototype 2 when that's goes live at the end of next month. But it's it's in there. It's cooking.
So you're gonna have something like this as well, Fraser, like where you can go and just talk to people and they're having conversations and shit like that.
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay. So that's just more a planning kind of and writing dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually that was last week, right? Was we had a lot of conversations about sidekicks slash companion characters, but yeah, currently it's just me and my partner working on the game, and we're both designers. So a lot of scope considerations have to be made. And yeah, that's scope considerations, right? That's the same with what you're just saying, Chris. Having characters around that you can speak to that aren't sort of critical to side quests or the main game. It is really nice, and I think it would help a lot. But it's like, where does that fit in in the development timeline?
What was the budget for Stray, do you know?
I can Google that. I have the pedal. No, Stray video game. Apparently, development started in 2015, so quite a long time.
$1,283.
I'm actually not sure what the budget was.
It's not available online?
Not readily that I can see.
Be interesting to know.
Yeah.
All the way up the area, look for an orange neon sign. Yeah, okay. So this is kind of open world, isn't it? Like, it's not completely open world.
Yeah,
we can kind of wander around. It's like 2.5D for open world.
Yeah.
It's like it's not quite open world. Remember.
Yeah, it's just that exploration aspect, right? I think there's semi-open world, yeah. I think there's something to the jobs that they have. That characterization, putting somebody in the vest with the tie behind a bar, speaks so much character.
So I'm just playing here. Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm analyzing.
You're good. I can't remember what we do here.
I think Stray gets such a good head start playing as a cat, you're just so approachable. It's so believable that if you walk up to a robot, they just tell you what's going on. Which I think
Ooh.
we might need to work on the characterization.
Well, we were talking about that last week, weren't we? So,
Mhm.
the silence. A silent protagonist allows you to project yourself into it really easily. Whereas I did mention the protagonist from Amnesia Dark Descent, which, for some reason, like the main character was really annoying. I mean, I couldn't stand her. It's just like, why did you make such an annoying character? But, and I mean, I think it was known as sort of being it was quite an unsuccessful game. I think, to me, because of that. So I mean, if you make a good character, of course, that's fine. But don't make an unpopular character.
It's very. I like that. Just make a good character.
Well, look, I know that's easier said than done for Java, of course, but
No, but sometimes you get like characters, and you're like, how did this make it past the writing room?
yes, yeah. But like some people, I think, you know, if you've got a passion project, this is the thing. If you've got a passion project, and that might have been someone's passion project.
Yeah.
But it was just not. Sometimes passion projects are just that, and they're not actually very. Other people are not necessarily going to like. Maybe some people will like them.
That's a good point.
That's the impression I had from this, is that maybe they even based it on someone. But the thing was, the main character had a lot of struck me as being very self-piteous, and to me that's not a very attractive quality.
Yeah.
So, but I assume that someone maybe was, you know, I don't know, thinking that, I don't know, maybe it was someone, you know, putting something in themselves perhaps into the character.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because I've been playing Soma, which is the same devs but 5 years on, and
Beforehand, you mean? Soma?
no, 5 years after Dark Descent.
Is it really? I thought Soma was quite an old game.
Soma's 2015.
And Dark Descent is later than that, isn't it? Oh, sorry, no, Amnesia. Amnesia. No, Amnesia.
The Amnesia Dark Descent is
When's that?
2010.
Oh, really?
That's what
Okay.
Google says.
Unless I'm thinking about the different game. I'm thinking about the wrong game.
Maybe. But I was going to say, the characters in Soma so far have been pretty compelling. There's like some writing that's a bit stiff, maybe, or a bit plot convenient. But like the character motivations themselves are all pretty good, even considering that the voice acting can be hit and miss. So
well, let me ask you, if you're running a game studio and you're, you know, obviously funding and everything, and you're dealing with funding at the moment. If funding, you know, and someone screws it up and makes a game that doesn't make any money, do you give that person another chance on that? Probably not.
yeah, I would like to, like personally, but you know, those decisions typically come down to money at the end of the day. But I don't know. I want to see devs have more space to fail and learn from that and try again, and you know, not just get fired instantly, regardless of how the game performs.
If you don't make money, yeah, you might not get fired, but you may not get to, you know, head up a game again, very quickly. So that's unfortunately, when it comes to money. Like if you lost your house, if you had a house and you put your house on a mortgage on your house to pay for it, and you lost your house, yeah, would you be would you be giving that person a job again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's. I guess that's the reality of it, right? But I wish, like we were saying just before, the idea of passion projects and sort of getting into that thing of like it doesn't, a game can be judged by its monetary success, obviously, because games kind of need to make money so that more games can be made. But they also have that intrinsic artistic intent, and sometimes those don't line up.
I'd say quite often they don't. Unfortunately, a lot of creative stuff really is not necessarily commercially viable. I hate to say, but quite often. But then again, you get the other end of the spectrum where you've got like something which is just designed by corporates, which we've talked about it before as well. That doesn't work either. So yeah, you've got to get that balance. You've got to get, I don't know, I guess talented person. Have I made a mistake here? I pulled out this thing and now I can't pick it up again.
No, I think you're right. I think you pulled it out so you could get in here. I think there's something in here that you're meant to collect. One of the...
What am I trying to collect?
One of the journals, I think.
Is it?
I assume so.
So that's interesting. So Soma is a much better game than... I'm pretty sure it's Amnesia Dark Descent. And it's a pity with Amnesia Dark Descent because I think it's a really good game in certain areas. Like I did play through a lot of it. And then, but just this woman talking all the time, just this grating. It's just like, I don't want to listen to this. Like, yeah, it was so bad.
Reviews that are showing up on Google are showing people quite liked it, Amnesia. And I was talking to Zeb about this a couple of weeks ago. Really, really like Soma for its story, its storytelling, the way it handles its sort of core like ethical dilemma. But the weakest part is the gameplay, and apparently Zeb was telling me the devs have talked about the fact that they kind of felt boxed into that Amnesia gameplay realm. Right. And so yeah, we had quite a long discussion about how you could... I feel like today, if Soma were being released, it would be far more of a, more like an experience like this in many ways, removing that idea of having that sort of stealth survival gameplay and just being able to explore this world and see the consequences of characters' decisions and the storytelling in that way. But I feel like in the 2010 era, when it would have been being developed, there was quite a bit of backlash against what was considered like walking sims and whatnot.
Okay.
Which I feel like we've come away from what I've seen.
I think so too.
But yeah, I remember seeing some reviews on Good Game for different like walking sim games, and seeing them be quite divided, where now the conversation is like, well, yeah, if you're looking for a game with gameplay, then don't play that
Don't play
game.
walking sim. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. So we're nearly at the end of our time. Is there anything else we wanted to do today? We've played some games, had a bit of fun. Oh.
You're working on a story-driven game. If the gameplay is going to complement... Detroit is a great example of story-driven gameplay, but there are those games. Yes, Death Stranding, the story is good, but the gameplay... Yeah. Yeah, finding the balance. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, okay. That's okay. Oh, there we go.
I think so much of it comes down to just as long as the player knows what to expect, right? Like we talked about it briefly with Stray, where I don't know why I went into this with the assumption of it's an open world, and so I had that sort of jarring moment of like, oh, this is linear. I think so many issues with sort of games getting sort of a bit of backlash is just not effectively communicating the player experience beforehand. And then, there's also like all the other times where gameplay just doesn't line up and things feel bad or something is wrong. But I think so many surface level complaints is just people not understanding what the game was trying to go for, or worse, the devs not understanding what the game was trying to be, and you end up with departments pulling the game in two different directions.
New memory recovered. Okay, so we have to. We're kind of gonna get up there, but yeah, I'm nowhere near there. I can't remember how to get up here, but I'm sure I'll work it out. So next week, are we gonna have an update to Arvo?
Yeah, we can do an Arvo update next week.
Cool. All right, no worries. So I'll probably wrap this up. Did you get? I mean, you got a reasonable amount out of going through Stray?
Yeah. It's laying good foundations for when I especially start doing like narrative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of a good. I think it's one of those cases of, I remember like months ago you were like, oh, that sounds like you're taking a lot of inspiration from Stray, and I was like, am I? And so it's rather than trying to be like, no, it's better to just be like, yes, what does Stray do well? Why has it seeped its way so fundamentally into what Arvo is going to look like? So it's good to have it front of mind.
Yes, it's good to have those things conscious, for sure. All right, well, we might wrap it up. So thanks everyone for coming. Thanks Pixian Games for the comments.
Yeah.
Good to have you here. We'll be back same time next week, 3:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time on a Thursday. So yeah, take it easy. And cool. Thanks everyone, and we'll catch you next week. Next week, yeah. Cheers, guys.
See ya.